I'm Jeremy Bloom from Blowing Smoke by Jeremy Bloom, and I've got with me here Eric Newman of J.C. Newman Cigar Company.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you as well. J.C. Newman, as we know, is the oldest family-owned cigar maker in the United States, and I know you guys work with the Fuente family quite a bit. Can you just describe that relationship a little bit?
Well, we've been partners with the Carlos Fuente family since 1986. This is our 25th year as a partnership. It's kind of interesting. In 1986, we had a leveraged family buyout of our company. My grandfather, J.C. Newman, started a company in 1895. He had two sons. My father ran the manufacturing for 7 years. My uncle ran the sales, and there were two sisters that just kind of collected dividends. And the cigar industry was in a kind of a tailspin for all companies in the early 1980s. And it was decided that business, if it was going to continue, one part of the family had to buy out the other family. So we had a leveraged buyout in '86. Our relatives got the money. We got the debt and the opportunity. For the longest time, we weren't sure whether they got the better deal or we did, because the business this is before the cigar boom and before anything was going on. So selling cigars were pretty tough in the 80s. 3 weeks after we had the buyout, my father had an old friend called Carlos Fuente, who had just opened up a factory in the Dominican Republic in 1980. He also had a factory in Tampa. He asked if we would, when he wanted to close his factory in Tampa, and he asked us if we would be interested in making his low-price cigars, a brand called Moya, in our factory in Tampa. And Dad said yes. But he said, at the same token, my father knew if we were going to stay in the cigar business, we had to get into the import ME business. That was a booming segment. And we were very careful who would make our cigars, but we trusted Carlos. We said, okay, I'll make cigars for you. In 1986, we launched La Unica, which at that time, within 6 months, became the largest selling bundle cigar in the country.
Right.
It's an interesting concept. In the early 1980s, cigars were only sold two ways: in a box or in a bundle. But all factories put their factory seconds in bundles. We came up with the concept: we could put a premium cigar in a bundle, and the customer wouldn't have to pay for the box or the bands or the fancy trimmings. We could offer a first cigar as a value. We came out with La Unica. And that was our partnership. The way it started in 1986. Our strength as a company had always been selling and marketing cigars. We never had our own hand-making facility, so we went to Fuente, Carlos. Fuente's strength has always been making cigars by hand, but he never had his own sales organization. He always sold through brokers. So in 1990, we formed a company in partnership with us and the Fuentes called Fuente Neumann. This band code then is called Fuente Neumann Premium Cigars, who our salesmen then continue on today. Go out and we sell his cigars, Fuente cigars, at our Diamond Crown in Australia that he makes for us. And by the same token, he's making these same cigars in his factory. So then and today, he does what he does best: making cigars, not really concerned about all that selling, because we do that. We do what we do best, which is selling, marketing, distributing cigars. We've been partners with him for 25 years. It's been a great ride.
Very smart, and you've been very successful.
Well, we've been very fortunate, but the industry has changed. We got together before the cigar boom, before Cigar Aficionado. A few minutes ago I was talking about how difficult the industry was in the 1980s. We got together at the right time, and we supported each other. And fortunately, cigars became popular, and when the boom was there, we were able to take advantage of it. My grandfather had a philosophy saying that you only get 2 or 3 times to really make a good success in your life, because you only get 2 or 3 chances. You better work hard all your life, because you never know when the next chance will come. So if you get an opportunity, you better make the most of it. So we did that with the Fuentes, and things worked out.
That's good advice. Sure.
Grandpa J.C. had a lot of advice. And my father had a lot of advice. I get older, I sound like my father giving me advice, but I'm not old enough to give advice.
Well, a couple of big sellers for you guys have been the reintroduction of the Brickhouse brand, which hit the top 25 in 2010.
Yeah.
And then this past year, the Julius Caesar I believe it scored a 93 in Cigar
Yes.
Aficionado.
Mhm.
So what, if anything, can you tell us about what we can expect in 2012 that will be coming out?
Well, we're looking at three things right now, but 2012 is going to be the 100th anniversary of our partners, the Fuente family. So they're coming out with a lot of new fun stuff that they're working on. I don't want to spill the beans on that end. So, but we are looking. It takes us a couple of years before we come up with a brand and actually launch it. We were successful, very successful with Brick House. We launched 2.5 years ago, which is a Ecuador Havana seed wrapper. We're looking to come out with a new cigar that with the Connecticut shade wrapper from Ecuador, Connecticut seed wrapper rather, that had a fuller flavored cigar. Same concept as Brick House, a different cigar, which should be a great flavorful cigar, price protected for retail. It won't be undercut by a discounter. Would be priced on the $5 range, which is quite done well for Brick House. We're also looking at perhaps a line of Maduro cigars. That would be a different brand. We have a great blend we're playing with now.
Okay.
That might be 2012 or 2013. And we opened up a new factory in Esteli about 2 months ago. We're looking to come out with a cigar called I don't know what it's called, maybe like the Cameron seed wrapper that we're experimenting with the blend now.
And if I may, the Cameroon wrapper was introduced by you guys.
Yeah, it was. We moved in from Cleveland to Tampa in 1953. At that time, there were 10 big family-owned companies all making Cuban cigars, Cuban binder, Cuban filler, Cuban wrapper.
Sure.
In Tampa, one by one, these other factories closed, and what really had a negative impact on the Tampa cigar industry. As we know, it was the Cuban embargo. Because all of a sudden, you couldn't get what we needed to make cigars, so a lot of companies sold out, merged, folded. My father wanted to stay in the cigar business. This was in '61. So he discovered a wrapper called Cameron. Cameron was a small company in the west coast of Africa. So I put it on as Quest Ray cigars at that time, Quest Ray 95, and sales immediately increased a great deal. It was very popular, and then Cameron became popular. After that, General used it on the Cardigas cigars. Consolidated, which the Alphabet now use it on their Don Diego cigars, H. Upmann cigars, and the Fuente started using it on the Fuente cigars, and became real popular tobacco. So we are very partial to Cameron tobacco, and there's a Cameron seed that's grown by the Oliva family, Tampa Oliva family. People have been growing tobacco for 80 years, and we've been experimenting with a blend then for a new factory in Esteli called Penza. The factory's called Penza.